Welcome to Elaborate. We're going to be elaborating with the DaVinci Institute. Thank you for joining us, and you're fine to stay muted, hide your camera. That's all great stuff today. We're going to make this recording hopefully available online after the fact. Elaborate is just ELA's way to stay engaged with the Educators Leadership Academy. My name's Mary Howard. I'm the director of ELA, and ELA has been here at the University of Central Oklahoma for the last 25 years. I've been at the helm for the last 2 years and have loved every minute of it so far. Educators Leadership Academy actually has 4 professional development programs. One is the Transformative Leadership Academy, and one of our guests today, Travis Draud, is actually in the Transformative Leadership Academy this year, so I'm really excited to have that connection with him today. One of our other academies that's in the midst right now is the Higher Education Department Chair Academy, specifically for department chairs and assistant chairs. Both of these programs, as well as this third program, are cohort year-long programs, and our Academic Leadership Fellows program is like the big picture of higher education. So for those just joining, you don't know anything about ELA, that's fine, but just wanted to make sure you guys kind of know where we're coming from here, really just to provide professional development to those in higher education. And then at my 4th academy is one specifically for administrative support professionals, whether that's in higher education or in the public sector as well. And our next event will be Tuesday, March 4th, 2025, with Connect Assistant Resource founder Valerie Riley. So there's my plug for you. You're not going to hear too much from me today because I'm going to turn it over to some of my great colleagues who I've gotten to know over the last few days in preparation for this program. So ELA, my mission, my mantra, it's network, exploration, strategy, and wisdom. I hope through today that maybe you'll just figure out some new wisdom about the DaVinci Institute, about how Dr. Stacey became a fellow, maybe jog your ideas about something you might want to get interested in pursue in the future. So thank you guys for joining us today. If any point in time, I'm going to kind of serve as the moderator today. So we're just going to let Travis and Emily kind of tell you about their areas and their expertise. If you guys have any questions, if you want to just put those in chat at the very end, then I'll kind of moderate and throw those questions out there to the group, or we can turn off cameras, unmute ourselves, and we can ask live too. So, and feel free to connect and talk with each other in the chat feature as well. So welcome again to the DaVinci Institute topic for Elaborate today. And DaVinci Institute is Oklahoma's creative think tank. So I'm going to turn it over to Travis Draud, Chair and Professor, Department of Biology at Oklahoma City Community College. And thank you for joining us, Travis. I'll let you get kicked off here.
All right. Thanks, everyone. Again, yeah, welcome to the Elaborate event. I was really pleased when Jeff King asked if anybody could step in for him when I saw Mary's name, because I was like, I know this person and I'm going to eventually meet this person in person. So we still haven't done that yet, but that'll be next weekend. And yeah, I was really happy to have the opportunity to share a little bit more about the DaVinci Institute's mission and the important work that this body does across Oklahoma. The DaVinci Institute is this unique partnership of leaders in higher education where there's a shared vision of fostering creativity and critical thinking in the arts, sciences, humanities, education. And we try to do that through academic and community collaborations. And we promote innovation and hopefully improve the quality of education in Oklahoma. So we can move on to the next slide there. Just to give you a little bit of background about the DaVinci Institute, it was founded in 1998, and it was a pretty significant partnership between the DaVinci Institute, which is a nonprofit organization, and the Kirkpatrick Foundation. And that eventually led to the formation of Oklahoma's A+ schools. And then in 2003, we launched the DaVinci Scholars Program. And all the way a few months later, in 2004, we actually got a really unique opportunity to collaborate with Sir Ken Robinson, who I'll talk about on the next slide, and several other organizations. And that put us in a position to nominate and eventually get accepted Oklahoma as a district of creativity, which is it still is to this day, and it's one of only 12 in the world, and it's the only one in the United States. And by 2006, the DaVinci Fellows Program, which you'll hear about as well, and you'll hear from a past fellow, started in 2006. And so every year we look for submissions, and then at the end of the year, we host an annual awards ceremony uh, to award those fine people. And we also hold a fall forum every year, and that's actually our fall forum is coming up. I'll talk a little bit about that as well, in case you're interested. And that fall forum is just about bringing like-minded thinkers in education all across Oklahoma together to share ideas. Yeah, so this was what I was talking about. This is a great man. This is Sir Ken Robinson. If you're not familiar, which I really was not familiar with Ken Robinson before I joined the board on the DaVinci Institute, but he was a British author and speaker, and also international advisor to Tony Blair on education in the arts. And he's best known for his advocacy of creativity in education and his belief that some schools stifle creativity because they are focusing too heavily on standardized testing and the academic side of learning. And if you're interested, he has a very, very famous TED Talk called "Do Schools Kill Creativity?" Has millions of views. One of the most, like I said, most viewed TED Talks of all time. And he really always, throughout his entire life, emphasized the need for an education system that nurtures creativity and individuality and allows students to pursue their passions and their talents. And so, how did Sir Ken cross paths with Oklahoma? Well, he actually came to live in the United States a number of years ago, and he was kind of searching for what he called a laboratory for creativity. And they were able to meet with the DaVinci Institute and Oklahoma's A+ Schools program, and cross paths and benefit from his leadership and wisdom. And so he served as Oklahoma's honorary advisor for Creative Oklahoma for a number of years. And like I said, that resulted in Oklahoma being the only North American district of creativity in the International Districts of Creativity organization, which was started in Belgium. Unfortunately, Sir Ken did pass away in 2020, but his visionary leadership propelled the DaVinci Institute and Oklahoma forward to where it is today. So I just thought I'd take some time to honor him. Yeah, we can go to the next slide. So just as a reminder, our mission is to spark a creative renaissance, and we pursue this through various initiatives, including lectures, maybe like what you're listening to today, workshops, research, and professional development. And a major part of that includes the DaVinci Fellows Program. And this program funds creative projects from higher education faculty, and it offers $1,000 grant and also a very prestigious Vitruvian Man medallion, which I won it. So, Dr. Stacey, if you just can I have that? It's actually really cool. But $1,000 is not bad either. And these projects that get awarded are we as the board vote on them, and we believe that the ones that win are the projects that most demonstrate innovation and creative thought. And we think both of those are obviously essential to outstanding scholarship and teaching. If you are interested, we are currently looking for submissions, and the application deadline for the 2024 fellowship is February 9th. So I really encourage if you know who to send this information out onto your campuses to get it out to your faculty so that if they're interested in applying for this, they can benefit from this substantial grant. We can go on to the next slide. And as we said before, we also have the DaVinci Scholars Program, and this recognizes Oklahoma education students who are, again, demonstrating creativity and critical thought in their teaching approach. And so this award also, they'll receive $1,000, and they get honored at the annual Spring Awards celebration. And we are looking for students who are going to be future educators who are committed to sort of the entire vision of the Da Vinci program and Ken Robinson's vision on education, fostering creativity and collaboration in their work and in their classrooms. And so, again, if this is interesting to you or to a student that you know, we do encourage you to nominate students who you think fit this description as well. The same deadline. Finally, I just want to highlight our upcoming Da Vinci Fall Forum. This is going to take place Friday, October 25th at Rose State. And the theme this year is harnessing artificial intelligence to fuel creative innovation. If you did attend last year's Fall Forum, which was my first Fall Forum as a member of the board, it's really one of the most fun things that I've done in sort of my education career so far. I just got to sit down and meet so many interesting people. And we talked about sort of like the onset of AI back then, about a year ago, when people were more afraid of what is this and what is happening. And so our idea for this year is that it's kind of a reconvening and to see where people have gone and what they've done. And so, if you're not aware, you should be by now, but AI is very prominent. And so we're looking to explore what its role is in enhancing teaching and learning in higher education. This is a more positive outlook on this, although we do offer the ability to hear the dissenting opinions, but I do think we're looking to not be doom and gloom on that day, if that's what you're worried about. So it was a very fun event. And like I said, that day I met people on this campus that I had not known that were like-minded thinkers. And a direct result of that was the establishment of the AI Affinity Group on OCCC's campus, which has done a lot of great things in the past year. So again, if you're interested, I highly encourage. Registration is $25 per person, and that gets you the whole day of fun and talking to cool people. But it also gives you lunch, which was really delicious, and refreshments. And there is also a virtual option available. We cannot provide you with a virtual lunch, but you are more than welcome to eat on Zoom with us. And again, you could find more details about how to register through the link that Mary has provided in the chat. Again, yeah, this is my second forum as board member, and so I'm really looking forward to this next one, especially if you all come out and I get to meet you as well. So that's pretty much it for me, but I'd like to pass the baton off to our next speaker, Dr. Emily Stacey, professor of political science and program coordinator at Rose State College. Dr. Stacey's work focuses on fostering democratic engagement among students, and she was the 2023 Da Vinci Fellowship Awardee. And that award allowed Dr. Stacey to continue her great work by supporting her second annual Advocacy Day and the formation of her book club, which she will now be telling you all about. So, Dr. Stacey, I'm going to hand off the microphone to you. Thank you.
Thanks, I appreciate it. No, you cannot have my graduation bling. I'm collecting medals at this point and they cling together in a really lovely way. So no, I love you, but no. So hi, I'm Dr. Emily Stacey. Emily is just fine. I am lucky enough, as he noted, to be the program coordinator and, just kind of general person that kind of runs and coordinates our political science program at Rose State College. It is an honor to get to participate in things like this and share with folks what we're doing on campus, because it is incredibly important to me for us to be fostering democratic participation, right? Political participation, generally speaking. I don't care how these kids vote. I care that they vote. And so that is a big underlying theme of everything that I'm doing at Rose State College. And so it was lovely to be recognized for the things that I'm doing by the DaVinci Institute. And I was completely humbled. And so I do wear my graduation bling with quite a bit of honor every year. And it gets a little bit of, right. I like, it doesn't hurt that it's pretty too. So bygones, you can totally totally next slide. These people see me. They know who I am. It's okay. You don't need to see me. It's terrible. As they mentioned, the book club was actually something that I inherited. So it started as the political science book club by my colleague and homie and co-pilot and often the wind beneath my wings, James Davenport. And he handed it off to me whenever I became tenured full-time faculty. I'm sorry, not tenured, but full-time faculty. And so we have actually expanded it. And so that's what you guys were recognizing, is that recently, in the last couple of years, it's not just the political science book club, it's now the liberal arts and sciences book club. So it's become this interdisciplinary monster thing where we take turns, history faculty, psych faculty, English, criminal justice, film studies, etc., are all represented, and we choose a book to cover each semester. And so the one in the spring that we covered whenever I spoke at the DaVinci dinner was Zieblitz and Levitsky's How Democracies Die. And I was actually lucky enough to get Stephen Levitsky on my podcast, Not My Generation, shameless plug there. You can find it on Spotify or Apple. If you're interested in random pontifications about politics, we do have some great guests that come on anyway. So we were in the midst of just kind of thinking about what this year was going to be like in terms of the campaign. And we wanted students to really kind of think about democracy in a comparative fashion, not just the American democracy, but looking at how democratic republics across history and across the global community have died effectively and had resurgences. And so it was important for us in this election year for students to realize that democratic institutions are safeguarded by the people. It's not the institutions that safeguard themselves. It's democratic citizens that take the time to be well-informed, to care, to advocate for themselves, et cetera. So the book club is something that is near and dear to my heart. We are actually reading A Promise Kept this semester, which focuses on the McGirt decision in 2021. So we do Native American politics, all kinds of stuff in the book club. So I just wanted to shout that out really quickly. My kind of shining star is the Advocacy Day, as Mary mentioned. So Advocacy Day was started in 2023. So just before I was awarded the DaVinci Fellowship, actually, I completed the first Advocacy Day, and I just kind of wanted to give you guys an idea of what I was doing, and I thought the best way was to show you the agenda and then some, photographic evidence. But I bring in, along with my homies in student engagement. So if you're not collaborating with your student engagement, student life, you really need to be. They are the key to the students, obviously, and they also have a ton of money over there. So if you're not collaborating with them, you really, really ought to be. But I've got some really great homies in my student engagement office, and they have been wonderful. So we collaborate together with on Advocacy Day. We did the first annual, like I said, in 2023, brought in Representative Fugate, made sure that we brought in a variety of different advocacy groups that represented conservative, liberal ideology, ways that kids could learn how to track bills on their own, and ways that they could use their voice to advocate for themselves, right? Which is really what I'm here for. So we brought in the ACLU. Ignite focuses on women, specifically empowering women to run for political office. Obviously, the Oklahoma Council of Public Affairs is our conservative think tank. I also brought in Oklahoma Policy Institute as well to kind of even things out. So you can go to the next slide. So 2024, of course, we did it again, and we're going to keep doing it. So 2024, it just got bigger and better. Great t-shirts. That is my homie, Andy Moore, who runs the Civic Learning Coalition. If you are unaware of that organization, you need to be. It is statewide, and it's fantastic. They do quite a bit on voter advocacy, voter engagement. So the CLC, and then he also is the executive director, I'm sorry, of Let's Fix This. And his podcast is Okay, Let's Pod This. So Andy's a fantastic advocate within the civic engagement community here in the state. We brought in my favorite Gen Z, the first Gen Z, I should say, Representative Arturo Sandoval, who actually represents your district in OCCC's kind of area. He is just a fantastic orator, number one, but he got elected as early as you possibly can at 21 in the state of Oklahoma, and is just an incredible person for the kids to speak to. He's now 25. So when he comes to campus, he's the age of the kids, and so whenever they get to see somebody in a suit who is passing legislation actively that looks like them and is finishing a degree at OU, it's really inspiring and aspirational in a way that, makes politics tangible and accessible to the students. And that's really, really what I'm about. So Build Oklahoma, another great organization that's about voter and civic engagement and education. So the idea is to just bring a bunch of different advocacy groups together and just different flavors every year, and teach these kids how to use their voice, right? That's the point in a democracy. If you're not using it, then somebody older than you, who's more fluent than you, is certainly deciding what policy is for you. And that is not great. So off my soapbox. Next slide. Sorry, I can taste color at this point. As my friends Mary and Travis know, I've actually just finished this week. So this week was Constitution Day. I guess Tuesday technically was Constitution Day. But at Rose State College, we are insane. And so we do a Constitution Week extravaganza. And so this is our third year doing it. We at first started about 4 years ago. We just did a day where I showed, 1776 and, whatever. But then we got a grant from the Jack Miller Center, and a couple of other organizations have been funding us for the last 3 years. So we decided to expand it into this full week-long, celebration of democracy. And so we host various events always. The always events, Constitution Jeopardy, where I pit students against students and faculty against faculty, which is tons of fun. On Tuesday of this year was actually Constitution Day. And so we brought in Jack Rakoff, Dr. Jack Rakoff, a Stanford historian, to speak to the campus. And he was just a lovely little man to talk about originalism and things like that. So that was lovely for the students to get to engage with a Pulitzer Prize winner. Next slide. What else did we do? The scavenger hunt, right? That is sort of the piece de resistance in a lot of cases. So this is the second year that we've done what we call our race for the Constitution. Like I mentioned, my co-pilot, James Davenport, is apparently an amazing race fan. And so he got this brilliant idea one day that we needed to do a Constitution-based scavenger hunt. So we did this one. The photos you're looking at are from this year. We did it on Rose State College's campus, but last year we did it at the actual state capitol. And so they got a wonderful experience. That's Representative Fugate, that's Representative Cindy Munson. They actually got their award handed to them by the governor, who you can see in the teeny tiny little shot at the bottom there. So they got to run around the Capitol and do these various competitions, like reciting Supreme Court cases, talking to the Speaker of the House about their role and authority, et cetera. So they're just, again, it's a way to make politics tangible, accessible, sexy, relatable. And I'll tell you, this year, it didn't have, obviously, the charm of being at the state capitol. I'm an addict of the Capitol, right? I was, what you don't know about me is I was a state capitol reporter for about 6 years. So I was the first lady in the state capitol press room. You'd open the door and I was sitting in a foyer, an armoire looking thing, right? And so I'm an addict, even though my expertise is in comparative international relations. I am an addict of the Capitol. oh, there's just something about it that I don't know. It's like crack for me. So anyway, even though you didn't have that this year, the students on campus that weren't involved with the scavenger hunt were like, "Hey, man, what's going on? Can I be in that class? What are these people doing?" And so we got a whole lot more buzz, and more buy-in, I think, from the campus this year, from us just kind of being rooted on campus. So that's a really fun one. And finally, oh, I noticed that my dean from OCCC was on here a minute ago. He may have slipped off. Oh, good. Dean Hall went away. Excellent. So he's not going to see this picture. Wonderful. There's also going to be, video evidence on the Rose State College Instagram account on Monday, allegedly. So if you are so inclined, we did a Constitution rap battle. So last year we did an anti-federalist federalist debate, which was as boring as it sounds, right? So this year we decided to zhuzh it up. I decided to zhuzh it up. And so we did a rap battle, and it was pretty awesome. So we used source material like the Federalist Papers. I rapped, mine was based on common sense, George Washington's inaugural address, etc. So it, again, a way to make politics and things that are, 200 plus years old, relatable to these kids. And, they always like it when their professors make, an ASS of themselves. So it was a really good time, and I won second place. George Washington took it because he also did this cocktail lounge kind of singing thing between his rap, which was a little ridiculous. I call foul. However, it was a really good time. So Constitution Week is one of our kind of cornerstone parts of the political science program at this point. Next slide. Is that me almost? Okay, I'm almost done, I swear. So another way to get students engaged are my election watch parties. And these things have become super popular. The one that I just hosted for Harris versus Trump was like 80 people. I ordered 35 pizzas and we had 4 left over, and 10 2-liters, and all of them were gone. It was mildly insane. I was a little shocked at how well it went. So I've done a couple of things. We do trivia. So I have you'll note the 6:45 start time. Obviously, the debates don't start until 8. So I have delegated, which is really difficult for me to do, to one of my colleagues, one of my younger colleagues, at least in spirit, to do trivia. So we do a political kind of, bar trivia thing before the actual debate starts. And what I didn't give you, Mary, was a link to my bingo card. So I make bingo cards. It's presidential debate bingo. I will make one for vice presidential debate. That is very specific to those 2 human beings. And they have such a good time. They get competitive. It's hysterical to watch these students just kind of go nuts and get engaged with the debate, get engaged with the crazy things that are said, get engaged with the policy that's sometimes talked about, but not really, etc. So the debate bingo has become a wonderful way to engage students through the election year. And then I just wanted to share with you guys my little, I don't know, brainchild. You've probably seen these around the main building at OCCC, in fact. So I made in Canva a really quick QR code that just links to the Oklahoma voter portal. And I had my print shop print them on like business card stock, right? And just cut them out. And I've sprinkled them everywhere that I go effectively. My therapist office has them. The state fair has some. They're just everywhere. So I just kind of wanted to share that idea with you guys, and it's not anything really novel, but it's something small that we can all kind of do. And again, it doesn't matter who they vote for, that they're registered to vote and that they are voting, is what I really care about. So that's jazz hands, right? That was all. Is that all me? Can I be done now, Mary?
Well, I know you have just carried the weight, and I have a couple of questions. I haven't gotten too many in chat so far, so if anybody has any, please drop those in. But I had a question for you both. So, Emily, related to your DaVinci Award, that $1,000, what did that go to programming? Does that go to you personally? Tell me about how that worked, and if it applied to some of your work and your programs, how that helped you kind of build that up.
Yeah, absolutely. So we used it to fund some of the 2024 advocacy days. So some of the shirts that you saw for kids that came, we also fed them lunch. So we tried to incentivize them coming, them staying, et cetera. So absolutely, it definitely went into the programming that you just saw.
And we had a question just come through, and I had this one too, Travis. How many scholars are selected each year? How many fellows? What's that competition look like? And can you remind us again of when that deadline to submit those applications would be? So someone like, I'm sure Dr. Stacey, over the summer, this time last year was like, how can I grow my advocacy day? Where can I get some money? So a little bit more details on that, Travis.
Sure. Yeah. There are multiple awards available. And it sometimes comes down to how many nominations do we get. So the more the nominations are, and the better attended our fall forums are, sometimes there are more awards available. So multiple. And the deadline is February 9th, 2024. And all of that information is easily accessible on our website, davinciok.org.
And, I just thought, because I also got to attend a fall forum probably 2 years ago. Dr. Jeff King, who's the vice president for transformative learning here at University of Central Oklahoma, he said, "Come on, you got to get here." And it really shaped some of my. I'd always been in higher education, but not so much on the faculty side, and just it really opened my eyes up to tenure and review, and just kind of some of the issues going on in higher education. So I kind of mimic that, like. It was eye-opening and great, the fall forum experience. So I can definitely do a shout out for $25 for an experience and to connect with people across other institutions. You really can't beat that. Can you talk a little bit about the board makeup and how so many different institutions are represented with the DaVinci board? I thought that was really cool.
Yeah, the DaVinci board has 15 to 16, quite a few members. They are from member institutions, from the DaVinci Institute. Our executive team is Jeff King from UCO, Dr. Goldie Thompson from the Oklahoma State Regents, and Dr. Vaughn Underwood from Cameron University is our treasurer. And yeah, it spans a list of all of the various institutions, both higher ed institutions and so private institutions. We just added a new board member from Oklahoma State last meeting. And I don't quite know what the selection process is. I think it's just a nomination from the institution that is a member of a person who sort of fits the bill.
Well, and I'm just on your website and looking, like there's Northeastern State University, East Central University, Connor State, so it's Cameron.
Rose
It's
State.
so cool to have leaders from all those different institutions coming together to move creativity in Oklahoma and encouraging people like Dr. Stacey to do more engaging programs and get students excited and tangible learning, not just reading about. I think I read the Federalist Papers a long time ago and I couldn't tell you one word, but to live it and to watch your app, it would make so way to go, Dr. Stacey, to make learning fun for your students. That's great. Thank you.
I see a comment from somebody, Scott, saying our fellows candidates limited to DaVinci Institute member institutions. I do not believe so. So I do not. I think you can submit regardless if you are a member institution or not. Our member institutions are Cameron University, Connor State, Northeastern State, Oklahoma A+ schools, OCCC. The State Regents, Oklahoma State University, Redlands Community College, Rose State, Southwestern Oklahoma State, Tulsa Community College, UCO, and USAO. Yeah, that's University of Science and Arts of Oklahoma. But you can nominate regardless if you are listed there or not.
Well, that's all we have for you guys today, folks. Thank you so much for joining us to learn a little bit about Elaborate ELA, the DaVinci Institute. We really appreciate it. Just thank you for coming. Hope to see you around next time. Thank you.
Thank you.